Hello friends, I am your educator DANISH KHATANA and here I am at Unacademy to take this class about political theory. So let's get started with this class and I hope you will find it much interesting and much informative as well. So let's get started. What is political theory? So political theory, that is what we are going to study in this particular class. But first, we need to know what is politics. So, everyone may have a different interpretation of the term politics. Few may say that politics is simply a kind of public service, but some others, on the other hand, would say that these days, one who is practicing politics is just like making false claims to all promises to a large section of people, manipulating them, as well as pursuing their own personal or group interests, perhaps. So, in the worst scenario, people would even say that people practicing politics these days even indulge in crimes and scams just to survive in politics, and that is what they call as dirty politics. So these are the different connotations of the term by the different people who are at the helm of affairs, and also the common population that goes to vote. But having said that, politics is an integral and important part of our society, of every society for that matter. So that is why we are discussing about it. In fact, Mahatma Gandhi, while he was leading the Indian freedom struggle, had said back then that politics is it envelops us like the coils of a snake, and the only way to get away from it is to wrestle with it. So this is to emphasize that we cannot survive without involving or dealing with politics in some way or the other in our lives. So the only way to get ahead of it, away from it, or uh, you have to wrestle it out, as in you have to deal with it. You can't run away from it, even if you are a common person, common citizen. So this is what Mahatma Gandhi was emphasizing even before India gained independence, and this is all the more true since we have the constitution. So coming to the question, what do we study in political theory? So this pertains to, as the question itself says, what, that means the content. So what all do we study? We study the values, the ideals, and the principles that have inspired the people, and also guided our policies. So before the constitution came into being, we had this freedom struggle where these ideals and principles played their part in inspiring people to struggle against the British, the foreign oppression. After independence, we have our own constitution and we have ideals enshrined in our Constitution of India to guide the policies of our country, like the directive principles of state policy. These are certain prescriptions. Then we have fundamental rights also, that is for the individual citizens. DPSPs are for the state. So coming back to what political theory deals with, ideas and principles like these, principles like rule of law, separation of powers between legislature, executive, and judiciary, and similarly judicial review that the Indian Constitution has got from the American Constitution. So both Indian and American Constitution are a case in point how these values and ideas and ideals are very much part of the political theory, and we need to study them. So what do we study in political theory? We study the ideas and the institutions and all kinds of principles that inspire people as well as guide the policies. So apart from that, we also study the important thinkers, philosophers, or political theorists, as you may like to call them. It could be from the bygone era of the ancient India, Kautilya, or it could be ancient Greece, Plato, Aristotle. Coming then to the medieval times of Europe, Roosevelt, Montesquieu, and a lot of other Locke and other theorists are there. And Karl Marx is obviously the most popular or sometimes the most infamous of them all. Then, in the Indian context, we have a lot of political theories to study, all the way from Mahatma Gandhi, who led the freedom struggle, to Bhimrao Ambedkar, who was the main force behind the driving force or drafting force behind the Indian Constitution that we have in the present form. So, why should we study political theory? Now we know that. What all do we study in political theory? But the question now comes as a natural corollary to that, as a very obvious question after what do we study in political theory? But we also need to know, why do we study political theory in the first place? So the simple reason for that is that we see around lawyers, journalists, and judges, bureaucrats. All of them have very good knowledge of the laws, institutions, and all kinds of principles that dictate our politics and the constitution. What noble ideals are enshrined in that? They have good knowledge. What do we mean by them? How do we put them into practice? So lawyers, journalists, bureaucrats, judges, all of them are well versed with it. So tomorrow, if you make your careers in these stated professions, then you need to have a good knowledge. And this is the base that we are building in these basic classes by teaching you political theory. So why do we need to study political theory? From a student's perspective, from your perspective, it is very important that you need to know all these principles and ideals and everything about these institutions that you need to know. Then, to act responsibly, we also have to, right from the act of voting and other issues, one needs to, in order to be responsible citizen in the future, one needs to have an idea about all the workings of these institutions. Why do we vote? What is the significance of that? On what basis should we vote? So all that you get to learn from reading the basic political theory, and that will definitely help you to become a law-abiding citizen and to exercise your right to vote in a right way, right manner, right direction. Then, lastly, last but not the least, I would say principles like freedom, democracy, secularism. These are not merely abstract terms that you just see in the book, in the political theory book or any other book for that matter, but these are real concepts that you can actually witness all around you as you're living as an Indian citizen or as a citizen of any other country. So these are not just merely abstract terms, and that is why we need to know them in detail, so that whenever we encounter them anywhere around us, in when we are living these lives as citizens of this nation, then we are well aware about it and we are able to exercise our fundamental rights and to know about the fundamental duties and what are the basic principles that underline these fundamental rights, the PSPs, fundamental duties, and everything else that is there in the constitution, and also the practical aspects of the political institutions, how they work around us, the constitutional bodies, and on what premises they were actually that they came into being, is all based upon political theory. So you need to know about the political theories that have actually led to the workings of our constitution, where all from it has been inspired from the various constitutions of the world. So for this, you must be very well versed, beg your pardon, very well versed with the political theory. So that is it, and I hope you like this brief lecture about political theory. I would like to wish you all the best for your future exams. Please, you follow me on Unacademy for such great lessons. I have already put a lot of lessons with regards to all these aspects of Constitution on the free platform. Rate, review, and recommend it to your friends. Recommend Unacademy to all your friends, which is India's largest learning platform. And thank you so much for joining and staying focused in this brief class. I hope to see you in future with all the details that we need to know about the political theorists and other political principles. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the best to all of you.